Peace, cook love, think fast. Wet dreams are a sign that, for one, that you should, is a sign that we should at least be having sex or tapping into that realm at least moderately. I just had a situation myself, having a wet dream and realizing and then, you know, feeling my inner guidance, let me know what's up, and then being led to other things that spoke to the same thing of having that build up. After so long, it's gonna have some type of release, especially a lot of us who are, in essence, in that celibate vibe, it's basically, that solar phallic energy build up, you know what I'm saying? Of course, it's good for us to, again, the whole aspect of us, dealing with sex is in a balanced way, and especially for the males, is for us to, if we're tapping into the sexual realm, making sure, we're having orgasms without ejaculation and having injaculations, Now, the most I could speak on from the aspect of me dealing with it is seeing that, again, with the proper breathing, either during sex, in which honestly you could practice this in masturbation, you know what I'm saying, as far as getting the tempo of breath and learning how to have a ejaculation, because also working with the muscle, I forgot the muscle, but the muscle that you use to kind of stop yourself from peeing, or whatever, that muscle, pulling up on that muscle, just like lifting weights, but making that muscle strong as well as, the breathing while in the actual act of sex. But, again, it's not meant for us to just squander our seed off like that. It is a balance, again, tapping into the sexual realm, but not ejaculating, having orgasm, but not ejaculating every time. But basically, with the wet dream vibe, it's like the body releasing regardless. It's like, well, hey, this gotta come out, you know what I'm saying? Because it almost like on some shit, like it's gonna spoil inside of you type of vibe, It's like, oh shit, this shit been sitting in here for so long, it's almost like, time for some new seeds, and that, you know what I'm saying? In essence of you there's and not saying where you're going through hardship or things of this nature, while it's stored in, but it's like a bunch of stored energy that's just been stagnant and sitting there, in essence, because even with the breathing techniques of moving chi and sexual energy through the body, that's not necessarily, moving the semen through the body, in essence, you know what I'm saying? Again, the light that moves through it, in essence, of be in motion, but again, that semen itself is just sitting, stagnant, so again, the body releasing regardless, and it's like, why not let it be with a beautiful reflection, and tapping into some manifestation magic, instead of waking up to a wet dream all the time, and I say all the time, but after so many periods of time of not having sex, and then it's like having that release, which is very lucid, because again, I remember even having that dream, and it's like, again, and what's real is like, how lucid wet dreams be, in essence, but you got that aspect. And two is just speaking to, trying to control nature and stopping natural processes due to dogmatic teachings, and especially, once these dogmatic teachings get, programming our subconscious, then, subconsciously, we feeling like, oh, no, it's something bad, like sex is evil, sex is bad, that's not the Christian thing to do, or that's not the, the such and such religious thing to do, and so that teaching and that subconscious programming to have us scared to tap into that realm, it's a part of our being, you know what I'm saying? Just like morning wood, it's things that happen outside of your, conscious control of it, you know what I'm saying, for a reason, because it's just a natural aspect, just like the woman's cycle connected with the moon, and the man having morning wood with the sun, that solar phallic energy, rising up in the morning, like that's a natural process, and to be embarrassed or to feel shame of something that's natural, you're basically going against yourself. Because again, yeah, we're souls, infinite souls, but yes, we're on a human experience in these human bodies. So part of being in this experience, being in this realm, is having a bodysuit, and this bodysuit has certain natural aspects of it, that we tapped into. And I mean, and besides the natural aspect of the bodysuit, but also the blissful state of, connecting on a sexual level. Like there's realms where it feels like an orgasm is being had all the time. Because matter of fact, a lot of my DMT trips felt like that. Like I was always, like it just felt like an orgasm just moving through my body. Like that's why most times I would go on DMT trips, I had to be able to lay on the floor, almost like, having like a full body orgasm. Because honestly, it did remind me of having like a feminine orgasm. Because, men, we got I mean, we get our orgasm, but, a woman, matter of fact, can have orgasms up to about 3 hours, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is actually a possibility, you know what I'm saying? But it could still be catching tremors, like just, and if you're having sex, look, putting everybody on the spot, but, if you're having sex, and really tapping in and, having real orgasmic sex, I know from my perspective, like, you're going to have a female, tap into that orgasm where, where you barely could even touch her after because she's still trembling, like, like, oh, get off me, like, like that's what you're trying to create that bliss, that blissful state when tapping in, because that's all a part of the process too, of course you want to be there for your mate on some, straight up companion stuff, just on the general aspect of it. But again, also, we have sexual needs as well, you know what I'm saying? Again, tapping into that blissful state and tapping into that connection, you know what I'm saying? Because, and that's why it be so strong. You ever been in the foreplay mode and like you could just feel like, and that's not even with the intercourse yet, and you just feel like y'all souls just fucking mending, and you catching the hairs on your skin raising because you could just feel the sexual energy in the air, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like that's tapping into, you know, your essence, And again, like we'll get almost locked down into these teachings, you know what I'm saying? And these teachings not beneficial to our soul, no good, bad, right, or wrong. But again, knowing that, again, and when I say no right or wrong, good or bad, as far as like, or if you're not tapping into sex, that's bad, or if you are, that's good, or this and that, it's just, this is what it is, not to say whether it's bad or good, but it's like that's the aspect of us being in alignment with our soul and not treating something that's natural as taboo, because think about what happens like breastfeeding. When we treat something natural as taboo, then you got a bunch of babies getting Similac due to the aspect of breastfeeding being taboo. So now you got babies being fed fetal estrogen, you know what I'm saying, instead of their mom's milk due to the taboo of like, mama, I'm ashamed. I don't want nobody looking at me and saying I'm, crazy, or, you know, being like them people in the jungle or something like that, as if that's a bad thing, you know what I'm saying? But like, being scared of our natural processes, you know what I'm saying, is what takes us further away from being in alignment with our true selves. So, we want to make sure we tapping into that energy. And again, as I'm saying this, I'm not, and of course you could see it and feel it in my tone, but just to add for those who like to make up their own things in their head as you're talking, as I'm saying this is not, again, like, you tap into this at your own pace in your own realm, but it's just acknowledging and knowing that, hey, you don't have to abstain in order to be spiritual, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is a misconception, you know what I'm saying? A misdirection. And again, it's tapping into the sexual aspect in a manner that's, healing for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, one person might need some type of healing where they need to be more in a submissive mode, and being in the submissive mode is gonna, have some healing for them, and then another person, uh, you know, because they've been in a submissive mode so much, it would be healing for them to be in a non-submissive mode. So that person that it would be healing for to be submissive, and the person that it would be healing for to be, I don't know what's that word for, but non of can't even get the word for it, but basically, you know, for one person to submissive to have that submissive vibe, and one to not have it. So well, normally you'd be like, oh man, that these person, like one person is dominating the other, and the other is submissive in the sexual act, where within that the aspects of what's best for those two people, though, is healing sex for both of them, because one is tapped into, each one is tapped into an energy that helps them to heal. So again, it's that healing aspect, and also again, making sure that all of you is connected with the situation, as far as like when they're stepping into that sexual realm. You want to make sure that you're all in. Like if there's some little small aspect that feel like it doesn't want to tap into it, and you may know that, hey, it comes from subconscious programming, whatever the case may be, but if it's strong enough to even have a essence to be acknowledged, as far as like a little voice that's telling, like that one small, like all systems go on all other things, like you feeling the vibe, this and that, but you feel some kind of way about protection, or you feel some kind of way, I don't know, you just catch a small little vibe, even though everything else lining up to where you feeling like you want to tap into it with this being. There's like one small thing feeling off, then don't do it, because that could create some type of energy. Now again, though, realizing, though, acknowledging, like because that energy could be from a realm of like just being a little scared to step out of your comfort zone. That's different, but you'll have like you will feel a difference. Like you will feel like, all right, this is more so coming from a fearful place. And then at some point your higher self will come in and be like, you're just kind of, due to the teachings or whatever, you being fearful, but just trust, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get that voice and that energy to let you know, like, hey, this is actually going to be healing for you. You know what I'm saying? Because again, in some cases, it's just the aspect of one part of you not agreeing with the whole situation, and then it could be, just that part of the egoic mind that wants you to not heal yourself, stay scared of sex, and stay scared of touching somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna create whatever situation it can to scare you, but you'll feel that it's more so from a fearful place than a loving place. Because say, for instance, like, it's different between being scared of something and then like not doing it again, like because you love yourself and you have a certain energy pop up. It's not necessarily out of fear, but more so like, well, you know you know I'm trying to put it into words, but it's just basically you could feel it. uh it has a slight difference in it, but again, just realizing that for the most part, is going to have, when we tapping into sex, or, we've coming from this place of abstaining and being celibate and things of this nature, and especially due to like some type of, again, dogmatic, belief system, BS, and that's, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have that vibe of, constantly looking at, think about everything before we, when we brought up meditation. I'm pretty sure like a certain aspect of you, whether it was showed its fear, or just being like, oh no, I don't know if I could meditate. I don't know if I could meditate. Or, oh no, I don't know if I could tap into those crystals. That might be something bad, Again, like the egoic mind be trying to trick you to being scared of something that's helping you to expand out of your comfort zone and to help you grow. You know what I'm saying? So just always keep that in mind as well. But I digress. Again, just the wet dreams, kind of like that sign. And also, wet dreams also could be a sign which is correlated to me, again, like the Kundalini energy, having basically like consorting with the Kundalini energy within yourself, you know what I'm saying? But uh, again, you know, it, it's all right to have like even like when you're first starting off, like you might have ejaculation here, you might slip up, you know what I'm saying? And we won't use the word slip up, but you might not be able to have an ejaculation, or or again, or just an orgasm without ejaculating. An ejaculation is like where you kind of allow for the semen in essence to kind of, that solar phallic energy to stay in cycle within you, you know what I'm saying, and stay in you instead of coming out, you know, and that empowers you, you know what I'm saying. But again, it's all right, you gotta, starting somewhere. You're gonna have, just like riding a bike. Fell down, you know what I'm saying, whatever, and you dust yourself off and try again. But again, it's not to, and whenever you're doing anything, you never want to use logical reasoning to try to talk yourself into doing something. Again, you will feel when you're ready to have sex. So it's not like, oh, I watched this universal frequencies video, so let me talk myself into having sex, Nah, but, you will have a vibe of like, by, say for instance, realizing like, all right, if you come across this video and you resonating with it, then maybe the universe is, trying to tell you something through my vessel, you know what I'm saying? But again, trust your inner guidance, go with the flow of your inner guidance when tapping into, any and all things. It starts with your own heart's discernment and inner guidance first and foremost, because even down to tapping in external information, you still being guided by your inner being, like to pick up a certain book or to look at a certain video. For the most part, it's going to be from inner guidance, And again, that's not to say that, that you, but that, and it'll show itself over time. If you are trying to tap into things through the thoughts, you'll fall in a lesson loop that's going to show you like, hey, you've been doing this because of what you think and not because of what you feel, You want to tap into the feelings, of course. Thoughts will still come to us like on a clear cognizant level, as higher self delivers certain little, pockets of information, and we'll still use logic and a flow of like applying it to certain things, but not it being the first and foremost thing of how we even look at a situation. It's like, nah, we deal with everything intuitive, first and foremost, inner being, inner source, higher self first and foremost, and then you could use some logical situation to apply to fixing something, you know what I'm saying? But it has to be intuitive flow to even get to that aspect in the first place. Take what resonate, leave what don't, and to each his own on your growth. Always be aware of that as well. We all the unique soul sparks, to the aspect of helping this realm is not necessarily going out and first and foremost externally trying to help this realm, but more so internally help your realm, and heal yourself. And as you're healing yourself, you're able to, share and help others heal, you know what I'm saying? And like I said before, we know when we're biting off a piece we can't chew, as far as like, because as we're healing, we're able to help, but but in a manner where we know we're helping. Because some areas, because I realize for myself, some areas that I'm still healing in, where it's like I'm not going to too much speak on subject matter, at least from a perspective of being an expert. Like I might share experiences or little things in that sense, like sex, I might speak on what I know I'm tapped into in that realm, but I won't go too heavy into it because I'm still healing myself. I'm still learning about healing myself sexually, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to come at y'all like, I am the master guru of sexual energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course not. But again, although still healing myself in certain aspects, again, like with crystals, no matter how much healing I'm still doing in general, I'm still tapped into that crystal information and still could, express it. You know, it's almost like I use the analogy like, you know, in order to teach somebody how to tie their shoe, you know, you don't have to be the master of tying knots. You know, if you do know at least how to tie a shoe, then you can speak on at least tying a shoe or show somebody how to tie their shoe. You know, now of course is when you try to act like you're the master of not tying, even though all you know is how to just tie a shoe. That's when you know you throwing a confusing message, and you may be, you know, disrupting or throwing somebody off of their path by sharing information in that manner. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to hold ourselves accountable, you know, at all times, accountable, responsible, you know, all those good things, while still being lighthearted, you know, and having a childlike essence, you know, but definitely have a level of accountability. But that's basically it, y'all. Again, not saying, oh, since you had a wet dream, now you just gotta go find a partner and go have sex. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying? Again, just speaking on that aspect of, you know, just, again, from within my realm of reality and from certain things I've learned along the way, you know, just realizing that, you know, a wet dream speaks to, you know, again, holding that energy in, you know. So, again, the body releasing regardless. So why not let it be with a beautiful reflection and have some manifestation magic? Well, even during the sexual act, you could ask to heal even more sexually, like having sex to even heal your sexual, like, if that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause that is something that could be done. Just like I could use a crystal to be more tapped into crystals. Like, hey, quartz, amplify my connection with all, you know, even more with all of the crystals. Like, amplify my clear cognizance, or amplify my clear hearing, so I could hear y'all voices even clearer. So you could use the same essence of something to tap more into it, you know, like use a crystal to tap more into crystals, use sex to tap more into sex, you know. That's also could be a thing as well, you know. And again, and remembering, as much as we can learn from different books and different, you know, ancestors and different things that came before us, you know, we are also beings who are tapped into this information and could bring forth certain things that may not be in books or may not be published right now, you know. Like, books, you know, like they didn't stop making all, like how somebody said they didn't stop making guns when they made joy. Like, they didn't stop making, you know, clear cognizant abilities, or allowing for people to tap in and write books after those people who wrote books already done it. It's like, all right, we done got all the book writers and people who tap into information outside of books. We done got enough of those people now. No more tapping in and writing. But like, nah, you know, a lot of you watching these videos and stuff like that are gonna be, you know, profound authors and beings that are teachers in some way, that's gonna bring forth information that ain't never, and when we say ain't never been heard or seen, you know, within our fleshy body suits within this lifetime, you know what I'm saying, in essence. But, you know, it's still some again, some information untapped into, you know, so always be aware of that as well. But peace. Bang. Happy now. Now is a vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Peace, peace.